I need my music. I need that.
Right, okay, you go, and I'll do the music. Right,
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Grupetto episode 22. Joining me on my left-hand side here is Jesper, and on my right is Cameron Jeffers. Hi, Cam.
Hi, hey, mate, you all right?
Yo. Oh, that side. I think we all just looked that way.
This is fancy.
No, I got it right.
When did the budget increase? We can see each other.
Thanks to the anonymous investor.
Hype.
Yep.
Was that Victor?
Hey, look, we can even get the... Wait.
Oh, here we go.
We can even get the dogs on the chat.
You lot on dogs. There's this weird bestiality thing going on with you and dogs.
Well, you realize the audio listeners are going to have no clue what you just showed.
Okay, there was a dog there. There was a dog there, Grupetto listeners.
It's not Victor, by the way, guys.
Okay, I didn't even know we had an investor, so thumbs up for that.
See.
Right then, before we get into the elephant in the room, the crux of this whole podcast, I reckon. Any other business? Did anybody wake up to catch the end of Milan-San? Sanremo?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I mean, if you caught the last 40 kilometers, it wasn't too bad. I mean, I got this as well, this screen. I'll show the results.
Wow.
What just happened?
I know. Whew. If you're listening to this on the audio, on SoundCloud, iTunes, wherever, go to Chris's channel and watch the video. I spent a lot of time with this, guys.
Cameron and Jesper sandwich.
So are we gonna post this? Are we gonna post this on YouTube and on the SoundClouds and
the World Wide
iTunes
Web of
and stuff?
SoundCloud? Yeah,
that's the plan.
So we're gonna be everywhere.
Visual.
Tim is disappointed we're not live.
Well, we had that discussion. I think we are gonna be live soon. I think that's we're definitely gonna be live at some point.
It takes practice.
It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon here. So we just thought we'd have a dry run. You know, I like it dry. To see how we do and make sure we get it right. Anyway, this graphic that we've got on the screen for those listening is the results of Milan-Sanremo, the profile, and it pretty much says what most people know. Is there any surprising results? Because literally after I saw Alaphilippe win, I pretty much turned it off. So
Ollie Nason's second is quite good. I mean, I've known him for like 4 years now, and seeing him get second, he's up there as one of the favorites for Flanders now.
Nice.
So, Wout van Aert, I guess, was a surprise. He was 300-1 to win this race.
Matej Mohoric. That was a good. He's not necessarily a Milan-Sanremo type rider, is he?
No.
Sagan
could have done better, but
Gaviria, Christoph.
I think the main talking point for Milano-Sanremo was that crazy descent by Bonifacio.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
That was just mental.
Wow. What happened? I heard I didn't watch it. I've seen the video. Apparently, a motorbike got in the way at the bottom or something. Did he crash into a motorbike, or was there a motorbike blocking him off?
No, he just went around a few turns, and the bike was going as quick as it could, and there was just no room to get past it. That was all. But as soon as he went into one turn a bit tighter, and he managed to get past it, I don't think it was that detrimental to it. He was never going to stay away anyway.
No,
it would have just been impressive to try and watch them go. He was but it
was the way he was taking every corner. It was like, I've never seen somebody lean that far down that's not on a motorbike. Like it was like, if he had knee padding, it'd probably be touching the ground into every corner.
He definitely wrecked that descent. There's no way he did that without knowing where the turns were coming.
He lives in that area, but he's also Bonifacio is known as one of the most crazy sprinters in the peloton. Like, you've seen Bohani sprint. This guy's worse. Like, this guy just elbows, moves out, makes space where there isn't. He's not very well liked.
It was probably best that he went off and tried to do his own thing, because they were saying that he was the team sprinter for that team, but he just went off on his own.
But that team, Direct Energy,
a rush of blood to their head. Yeah,
it's like Frankenstein's monster or whatever. It's like if Niki Terpstra, Bonifacio, and like all these like high quality, like, it's like they just got money. Like they got rid of Tommy Vauclair, they got rid of Sylvain Chavanel, so all this money was freed up, and they went, Dart, board, psh, yep, you come over here, and we're just gonna have fun.
Who's where's the money coming from?
No clue. Let's have a look who they got this year.
Sam Bennett. Sam Bennett didn't really do much either, did he?
Well, it's tough. I mean, the Poggio was the second quickest ascent ever they've done of that. So, do you really expect him to be up there?
They went into that quick. Go back up to the top on the left-hand side.
Oh, there they are. Oh, look, we've got graphics now, so we can actually showcase stuff.
Yeah.
Rein Terame, Nicky Terpstra, Pim Lichtar, Bonifacio. I mean, they're random people.
Yeah, there's a random team, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I saw what's the chap that's bought Sky called? Ineos.
Oh, Sir something.
Pritchard.
He's I saw he made a threat to the government or something that if they don't de-restrict his pollution rules, he's gonna move out of the UK. So that's a good start, isn't it?
Jim Ratcliffe is his name.
Jim Ratcliffe, that's it.
Britain's richest person.
Richest man in Britain.
I thought that was Cameron Jeffers.
Behind that one.
Patreon.
Banter.
What are our feelings on Team Ineos? Do we like it? Is it good?
Like the way, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of controversy, isn't there, about the business ethics, what they stand for. You know, they've gone from protecting whales to polluting the planet. Chris is dying. But like, I don't know, it's a hard one, isn't it? Do you put probably 50 guys out of a job, guys and girls? You know, do you put those guys out of a job, have to find something else to do for a living, or you know, do you just take the brunt of it? And you know, maybe through the cycling team, they can improve their, I don't know, pollution and whatever they do. Like, I don't know a lot about this company.
No,
honestly, I don't know a lot about what they do.
Well, they've got a Davis Cup, or they've got like a sales squad as well, I think, don't they? Like,
oh yeah, I think you're right. Actually, yeah.
I've done no research on this. It's just based on what I've seen pop up in the feed.
Yeah, I think it's good for the sport because it brings in another name that has a lot of money to put behind the sport. But in terms of like their ethics and stuff, it's probably not. You know, cycling is ultimately to promote cleaner way of living and a healthier way of living, and that doesn't really come with.
I also worry.
You've got, you know.
Yeah.
You've got.
I mean, I also worry if.
I know about that.
I thought if we could see each other, it'd be easier not to talk over each other.
It would be, wouldn't it? Yeah. But I think are we on a delay or not?
Well, like a half a second delay.
Yeah, half a second.
Enough.
Yeah.
Nope. So, but you know, you look back at the 90s and the 80s at Formula One and motorcycle racing. They had tobacco sponsors sponsoring them. So I don't think the teams really care where the money comes from as long as the money comes in. But I think the public might have something to say about it because there was talk about the anti-frackers having a protest at the Tour of Yorkshire because of that, because they've taken the team over now. So that'll be interesting to see if that plays out.
Yeah, I don't think it's weird when the most successful team ever since Armstrong's era just goes away. Like something doesn't really sit right.
What
was their excuse?
Pulled out?
Well, it's probably because of the Jiffy back and stuff. Like
they said that they feel like according to the media, they said that they had exceeded like sort of their marketing potential, and it's a case of they come to the end of their timeline as a cycling sponsor, and they wanted to move on to pastures new. But yeah, it's interesting. But it posed the question: you know, was there something deeper to it, and was there more reasons behind this that the general public don't know about, and the general public will never know about?
Yeah.
Join us next week on the Grupetto where we dive into that suspicious.
Bring your tinfoil hat because we're gonna go deep. Speaking of that, did you guys see the Veloton hype that's now happening on the Zwift Riders Forum stuff?
Wait, what
No.
did you just
Enlighten me.
Did you just say the Z word?
Well, we've not implemented. Cameron doesn't know about it, so it's not in effect yet.
No, but you just said it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. To be fair, I think that's the longest we've been into a podcast where no one's mentioned the Z word.
It's not.
But
it's
did you
not
actually mean
word.
Did you mean on the Z forums, or did you just mean on the Facebook?
Can I retract my statement? Can I turn it back? That indoor cycling platform that tends to have hundreds and thousands of users. Also, yeah.
So people have been talking about Veloton in Zwift. Ah, shit. in
Swiftly moving on.
Well, go on, Veloton.
So Veloton. So there happens to be this movement now of all these competitors to Zwift popping up left, right, and center. We've discussed CV Arcade. Ruby has implemented virtual reality. Rogue Grand Tours are supposedly coming with a massive games partner in the end of March, which is now. So that should happen too.
Oh, really?
And then Veloton, a very ingenious name that does not rhyme with another billionaire in the same space whatsoever, named Peloton.
Meloton.
Bicycleton.
Smelleton.
But yeah, so Veloton is it's a guy called Nils Christian Andersen who's teamed up with this games company called Cyanide, which I think you guys might be familiar with. They create Pro Cycling Manager. And what he's managed to create is quite cool because it combines Pro Cycling Manager with the virtual fitness world of like Zwift. So you could control your own, be a pro rider, you can control Chris Froome, but instead of using a controller, you're using your legs to move him. So it's like more of a single player experience. And there is a gameplay video in here somewhere that shows drafting. I think this one.
I don't know how that. There's at the minute in terms of that. There's no. My initial thought is there's no community. Without community, you're going to struggle to make that happen.
But if it's a single player game.
But that's what I mean. Who's going to jump on there on their own when there's no one else to? The thing about the Zwift is having that community, isn't it?
I think personally, single player games have come and gone. You know, they were very popular like when I was growing up, but as you know, technology's progressed, multiplayer just seems to be. You know, we think of Call of Duty, we think of multiplayer, we think of Fortnite, we think of Battle Royale, multiplayer. I think gaming now is much more about the multiplayer aspect than like the campaign single player storylines.
Oh yeah, I won't play it unless I'm playing online with somebody. I will not play.
Even FIFA. Even FIFA, you play online and.
But there must be at least some sort of space because nobody has attempted at a single player. Well, I guess they have. I guess Kino Map, etc., are single player. But there must be some sort of appeal to a younger audience to be able to ride versus Chris Froome instead of riding against your next door neighbor who's on a uncalibrated vortex. Like,
yeah, I guess, but you're not. You're racing against an avatar with the name Chris Froome, not necessarily Chris Froome. And those stages on Pro Cycling Manager, from what I remember years and years ago, that it's not the full stage, is it?
Well, it can be. This is the thing, if you understand where to look, because they don't own the rights to everything, so it'll be like Chris Froome and Lance Neilstrong, etc. But if you know where to look, you can download databases that are going to give you the correct names, the correct jerseys, the correct stages, all without paying anything. You just need to pay the upfront fee, but it is creating a lot of hype right now.
But
I think like anything, isn't it?
Shut up, Cam.
Dad's talking. Shut up. This is what Milo goes through on a daily basis, Cam.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, it's
For the audio listeners, Cam has just left the studio.
Cam has left the building, and now I've lost my train of thought. My point was that if you want to race against Chris Froome, you want to race against Chris Froome, like his wattage, his output, and see how you compare. You'll only do that once before you realise you are nowhere near it, and you'll experience that, and then you're gonna have to adapt it all to be better, to come more to your level. But then you're not really racing the pros. You could be racing any avatar, really. I don't know.
But yeah, imagine though, because this is a game. It's like people play Football Manager. That's quite successful. That's a single player game. So you build a character, and then you start from like the lowest of divisions. You ride for better teams, St. Piran. You move up to Madison, you move up to the next squad, and you play. Suddenly, you've played over a year, and you've moved from the bottom to the top, and you've also gotten fitter. Is that not some sort of appeal?
Yeah, I can see the like. Now you start to explain it a little bit more. I can start to see the appeal, and it's like anything, isn't it? It's another competitor in the cycling esports virtual market. So it's going to be it's competition's good. So hopefully they can develop. They'll feed off if there is a community comes up with it. They can feed off the community and hopefully create a great game.
Yeah, if that, I suppose, any, like you say, Cam, any competition is good competition, and if it just brings competition and improves, CV Arcade improved because of it, or Zwift improved because of it, then it has been.
All these companies,
I can't see.
Yeah, they all feed off each other.
It'd be interesting to see over the next few months what actually happens to it.
Because everyone is coming up with ideas now. Like, I'm really excited to see what Rogue Grand Tours are doing, because supposedly it's a rather large company. So could you imagine if it's like Rockstar or EA Sports? What happens
with
then?
All of these new companies, all of these gaming companies coming to the market? Surely one of them can, slip us a couple of G's and sponsor the podcast.
All right.
And we'll say lots of nice things about them.
Well, Chris is wearing a branded T-shirt. I'm wearing a WVR T-shirt. What are you wearing, Cam?
A Nike hoodie.
Yeah, he's sponsored by the big boys. You can tell the difference between the
I got a Castelli T-shirt on though.
Well, this is Astelli. That's all I can see.
Astelli. I like it at S.
It's like when you buy off AliExpress, but they didn't quite get it right.
I've had some good deals off AliExpress. They keep me in socks. They keep me in cycling socks. AliExpress.
So what else is going on in the cycling world?
Oh, I don't know, Cam. What's happening? What is happening in the next couple of days? Is there
anything on this week?
I know what's happening.
Maybe in London.
I know what. It's the Hare and Hounds race at 6 a.m. on Friday morning.
Dips.
Right, Cameron, take over.
You always try and steal my thunder.
Take over. Man.
Yeah, so this Thursday, it is the first. No, it's not the first, is it? It's the first ever live televised British Cycling e-national championships, and to me, this feels like the first sort of. I don't want to get abused for this or hate for it, but it feels like the first proper kind of organised national finals on Zwift. I mean, I'm probably just saying that because I'm in it, but. Yeah, it's going to be taking place in the London BT Sports or BT Studios. In where is it called again? What is it?
The
Stratford.
Olympic Park.
In the Olympic Park. That's the one. That's the word I was looking for.
That is huge, man. Sorry, Cam, but that is huge.
Like, I don't really know. It's funny actually, since. So I'm racing the live finals. For those of you that don't know, I'm racing the finals. There's 10 of us, 10 men, 10 females. The guys that qualified from the qualification round, I got 12th, but got promoted to 10th. But anyway, yeah, people have been messaging me like, I mean, I don't want to say any names, but guys that have been racing the Super League have gone to the final, gone to the live events, and other people have gone to the Zwift live events in the past, like CVR World Cup. And they've been messaging me, like giving me advice, giving me tips and tricks on how to sort of get the best out of myself on the day, what to take, what to do, and not physically.
How many blood bags to take?
Okay, someone told me to take a spare. Someone told me to take some.
Go on. What did somebody say?
No, not performance enhancing. I mean, performance enhancing, but not drugs. Just like maybe take an extra fan in case they don't have very powerful fans or whatever the case may be. So yeah, guys, it's an incredible thing to be part of, and I kind of haven't really acknowledged what the meaning of it is yet. I think we'll I think next Thursday will be a turning point in either the case. It'll either be a huge step forward or it'll be a complete fail. It's either going to get
reach its limit.
When Cam says he's going to bring his own fan, I have this in mind.
Who? Monica.
Oh my god! Can you imagine if Monica just pops up in? Yes, yeah. She's gone.
And she comes down and sits down and takes his.
Yeah.
There you go. Boom. Look at that.
Yeah.
For those of you who are listening, I thought he was going to bring something else, but he literally just brought a headwind.
We didn't have a bigger industrial fan around here.
That's fine. The joke still works.
Well, I'm taking Monica. So.
Anyway,
so the format of the day is apparently we go in the morning, we get signed on, we get weighed in, #WeightGate. We get weighed in, and once we're in, apparently you're not allowed to go out of the arena. So you're in, they've weighed you, and you're not allowed to go out and go they're not allowed to. I don't know. I guess you can't just go off anywhere. You have to stay within the vicinity of BT Studios for the entirety of the day. The first race.
Please, before you carry on, can I just butt in there?
Go on, Chris.
Because you just brushed over it very lightly, as in you're going in and you're getting weighed.
Yep.
We all know about what happened at CVR World Cup. We know that people put weight on in the KISS Super League. We don't need to go into that anymore. Safe to say I was right and everyone else was wrong. But anyway, right? My point is, are they going to weigh you early enough in the morning for you not to be, so you can get away with not eating breakfast to gain a bit of an advantage? Or
like, this is it. And I weighed myself yesterday morning, and I weighed myself this morning, and I raced on Sunday, so naturally, it was a reasonably long race, 125k. It was 3 hours of racing, so you need to be well fueled before that. So in a couple of days leading up to it, I did what I sort of normally did, make sure I was taking on a lot of water, so I was hydrated and eating plenty of carbs. And on Monday morning, I was a little bit over what I normally am, and this morning I was a lot less, still over my usual sort of Zwift racing weight. So hopefully, but I'm pretty confident by Thursday I'll be back down to my normal weight. But it kind of begs the question. I in the past I wouldn't have cared, and I can't. This week I'd be just eating plenty to make sure I'm fit and healthy, and I'm not trying to cut weight or make a weigh-in. But after seeing the sort of backlash that Bibby and Moldy got after the KISS, this KISS Super League in New York, I'm starting to think that maybe I need to, I need to make sure I'm going to be 73 kilos. And
no matter what you do, Cam, you'll get scrutinized. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think we all know nowadays. Now, after all that, is that 69 kilos. That's
69.
This is back before Cam was legit, and then he realized, oh crap, I'm being monitored. Okay, let's go. And I mean, you do change it back and forth.
So I'm trying to keep it. So I went to Italy last week to do a Gran Fondo, and Italians eat a lot of pasta, and each night we went out and I got wined and dined on like a 5-course meal and ate so much pasta that I came home and I was a kilo heavier. So I've adjusted my Zwift race. I went from 72 kilos to 73. So I've adjusted my Zwift weight accordingly in the last 2 races. I've raced it as.
Oh, look at me! I play by the rules. I'm Cameron Jeffers.
That was angry that sigh. Cam, I would eat whatever you want to eat, man. If you're 2 kilos overweight or 2 kilos underweight, no matter what happens, people will find flaws. So just be the best you can be and just have fun.
This is the thing, right? Because they have to round it up, or will they round it up?
The game rounds it up.
Right. So if you normally race at 72 kilos, but you fuel up, you don't take a dump, whatever it might be, you get on those scales and you're 73.5. So you could have been technically 72.4 or 72.5 and it would have rounded you down to 72. But now all of a sudden you've been round up 2 kilos. And now 2 kilos doesn't make a huge difference, but in a sprint, it could potentially make that difference. Like how
and it might make you appear in a certain Australian YouTuber's video,
which is now taken down, by the way.
Really?
He's retracted his video. Yes, it's no longer on the YouTubes.
Oh. But it's just mental. It's just mental to me. Like the races. So the races that are going to be taking place, they're not necessarily going to come down to who's going to be the lightest rider. If anything, you're going to benefit from being a bigger, stronger rider. The sort of track-based races, there's an elimination race, there's a points race, and there's a scratch race. So it's not as if we're racing up the Alpe d'Huez, where watts per kilo are going to be the be-all and end-all. So for me, I would much rather go into that race knowing that I've eaten well this week, knowing that I've carb loaded, and as a consequence, I'm probably going to be 2 kilos heavier. But as a consequence, I'm going to get so much of a backlash on YouTube and on the internet. It's like, is it even worth it? So,
fuck that.
I don't think it would.
I know, but
I don't think it would anymore.
Yeah. Well,
see that was the issue with the whole video was.
Yeah,
was
I think people just need to realize. People just need to realize, as a cyclist, as an athlete, your weight fluctuates a lot. You know, you're not the same weight day in, day out. If you're at the minute, I'm having a rest week, so my training, I'm probably burning 10,000 less calories this week, and you know, your body adjusting to that. As soon as you're burning less calories, you're taking in less food, you're taking in less water. Your body goes into defense mode. It starts to hold on to food. It starts to retain water, and within a day, you can put on a kilo just from water weight. So people need to realize, and I think, you know, Shane, I'm thankful he's taken his video down, because with content like that, he's kind of polarizing people who might not necessarily know how the body works of an elite cyclist, and how these UK pros, and you know, how the body works. And him saying what he said probably is going to make people think that, oh shit, yeah, they're cheating because they're overweight, when actually no, like that's not how the human body works. People fluctuate every single day. If I have a decent shit in the morning, I'm going to lose half a kilo. If I, you know, race the day before, then I'm probably going to lose a kilo just from all the water that I've sweated out. So yeah, people just need to realize that 2 or 3 kilos isn't actually a lot of weight in the grand scheme of things.
So you're going to go into it without trying something new, as in, right, I'll stave off breakfast to weigh a kilo less, and then try and refuel up beforehand, because I don't think that's going to put you
yeah, I mean, boxers do it. Like boxers do it. My brother's a boxer.
A boxer, isn't he? Yeah.
He's a pro boxer, so you know, he has to cut down and make weigh-in. But the weigh-in for the boxers is often the day before, so they can they've got a full day of eating and a full leave. Like they go to sleep at night and wake up and have a decent breakfast, and for them it doesn't really make an issue. But if us guys are going to try and starve ourselves to make as low weight as possible, and then eat, you know, your body's not going to digest and process all that food within a couple of hours. So yeah, it's different. It's a different scenario.
So just carrying on with your brother a second, what kind of weight can he drop to and then put back on in the space of a day or two?
Oh, nothing major. I mean, he fights at middleweight, I think, which is like around sort of 73 kilos, and I know that when he's actually fighting, he's probably around 75. So yeah, probably a couple of kilos at most.
But that's just in a day. Boom.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah. All right. So we've discussed weighing in. How do you think the setup of how the races are structured, how do you think that's going to work? Because obviously you lot are all endurance athletes, so to sit at 3 or 4 hours at a steady pace before you ramp up to a sprint is natural to you guys, but it's going to be more like a track league event where you're sprinting, you get an hour's rest, you're sprinting. How do you think that's going to affect you and the others?
Yeah, I mean, I was chatting to Bibby at the weekend. He was at the race that I was at, and I said, you know, well done for the Community League the other day, and he said, yeah, the Nationals are going to be the same
Super
thing.
League. It's Super League.
Kiss Super League. What did I say?
Don't Community League.
Sorry,
that's a bit of an insult to Bibby.
The Kiss. Okay.
Well, to be fair, it's tougher to win the Community League than the Super League. So if he won that, that would be
anyway.
Good.
He said, yeah, but the Nationals are going to be the same thing, sprinting, but 40 times. You know, 40 repetitive sprints. So, yeah, I mean, it was going to be a challenge, and I think it's going to be super important to get a decent warm up before each event. And I guess they've tried. I reckon Zwift have done it to make it interesting and to make it kind of like a viewer spectacle, and to try and keep the viewers retained and keep it as exciting as possible. And you know, historically, short, fast events are more entertaining to watch. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think, you know, it's going to suit Moldy as a track rider. But yeah, we'll go up. But I'm going to show up, and I'll certainly give it my best shot.
Well, that's it. You've got just as much as anybody else. You've got more chance than I have. And anybody that's on one of those 10 bikes has a chat. Stop reading your phone. Stop looking at your Instagram.
I'm picking my nails.
All right. It was just like this.
Oh, sorry.
Like this.
Yeah, another reason if you're on the audio channel to watch the YouTube video, because then you can watch Cameron Jeffers pick his nails. Because I was the one checking my phone.
Steve just called me.
Oh. Put him on the podcast.
Get him on the
Just
podcast.
Bring him up like, Steve, what do you think Thursday? Go.
No, because if he's angry, he'll just start swearing. I'm like, Steve, stop.
It's a good thing we're not live then.
Yeah.
Any one of those guys on those 10 bikes can stand a chance of winning it. You could see it in the look how close it was, the heat, as it were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's
all going to come down to. I hope it doesn't affect it too much, but power ups are certainly going to play a part. I think
dropouts is another one. Like if you get a dropout, you're fucked.
In the scratch race,
imagine that.
In the scratch race, you get points every lap, but then on the finish lap, there's double points. So if you get an aero during the race and you end up winning the final lap and winning the race because you got an aero, it's there's certainly more to it than just simply racing around on your bike, isn't there?
If you don't get an aero in the scratch race, are you going to try and do the Messi method? Or are you going to stick with your sprint?
Whoa, what's the Messi method? What's this? What?
It's a theory we're working on.
Do you want to?
What are you asking me? Do I want to delve into my race tactics?
Nah,
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you my race tactics because I haven't thought of them.
I was also going to say there really is no race strategy because they haven't released an overall point strategy yet. So far the strategy is give it everything in the first race, give it everything in the second race, and then give it a bit more in the third race, and hopefully you win.
Because the third one's going to be on BT Sport.
Well, it doesn't really matter. Like if it's on BT Sport. But I would love to see the retention rate, like of people clicking to it and then staying with it, because Chris and I have seen BT? The stage. Sorry,
on BT Sports. Or
yes,
clicking the stream and watching it.
Like on YouTube, you'll have a rather long retention rate because people are watching for Cameron. But on BT Sport, if there's a random person coming across it, what value does this have to them? It's not like they're watching Madden. They're not watching FIFA. They're not watching games they already recognize. They're watching a completely new game.
It's new. Like sometimes if I'm flicking through the TV and see something new and it looks exciting, I'll probably watch out of curiosity. So, hopefully, I reckon Zwift are going to be thinking it's going to be the same sort of situation.
I'll tell you where that happened to me. I was flicking through, and I came across drone racing, and I spent an hour sat there watching drones racing. But it's in a pitch black arena with like luminous lights and stuff, so you can't really see what's going on. The drones are so fast you can't actually see it, but you're just fascinated by watching it. And that'll be that. Imagine if you've never heard of Zwift, but you love sport and you love cycling, and you happen to turn that on and you see all these guys riding, and you can see the faces, you can see the suffering, and then you can see the fact that it's a computer game and they're playing it.
I'm excited. Like as somebody who's been in this from the beginning, like this is the beginning of the next step. But there's a lot that sits on this. If this broadcast somehow goes poorly, it's going to be really difficult to repair the image of our sport, of our indoor esport.
You know that there's one way of making sure it doesn't go poorly.
Send Chris Pritchard.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to BT Sport. My money is on Cameron Jeffers. Let's get to the races. Just like that. Boom, Steve.
So... The personnel I think they have in charge is they have Laura Winter of Vox Woman, then they have some esports presenter. Do you know his name? Tim Deacon, I think his name is.
He presents. He presents. He's an esport presenter, isn't he? Of like shooters, like first person shooters.
Yeah, I think first choice should have been me, obviously. But second choice, I don't know why they didn't go for OJ Borg.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
So he's a Zwifter. And he's an esports commentator, so it would have been perfect for the job.
Rebecca Charlton, another one.
Yeah, she would. Yeah,
I think the commentary is going to be
the Kiss Super League, hasn't she? So.
Yeah, I think the commentary is Nathan and Hannah Walker.
Oh my God! He shot the double!
Boom! Headshot. That's all I can think of. Cam, have you reconned? So you've been given the courses you're going to ride for the race. Have you reconned the LaGuardia loop and stuff?
I have not yet.
Are you going to?
Should I?
Yes.
No. Yeah. I will do. My plan is to do that this afternoon.
Like.
No, it's not. Stop lying. Literally, only just saying that because he's mentioned it.
Nah, come on. If you were going to a really big race in the real life, would you not recon it if it was something that really mattered to you and you would like for no cost whatsoever? You can go and check out the entire course. Would you do it?
No, it makes sense. I probably will. Now you've enlightened me. I'm going to go and reconnaissance it.
Because like I have, if you can see the screen, I have LaGuardia up. The LaGuardia loop, I think, is the elimination race. And if that's the case, the finishing, like the finish is uphill every lap. Like it's that little New York kicker at the end. And it comes down to knowing that. Like you can come from 10th place to 2nd place if you just know that.
Okay, yeah.
So,
yeah.
This is another thing. They should be coaches. Like Tim and Chris are going to be there on the day. They should be able to like into your ears go, okay, Cam, now do this.
Like in a normal bike race.
Like you do for
I was talking
every other
to
day.
I was talking to Roz. Was I talking to Rosamund about it? Or was I talking to James about it? I can't remember. I was talking to one of them about it, and the fact that this time, how is it going to play out? The fact that you can see your competitors now, like, are you going to take a look over and see that Moldy's hurting or Bibby's getting ready for an attack, and is it going to help you or hinder you, or how do you think it'll play out, Cameron?
I don't know. It's the same. I mean, it's the same situation in a real race, isn't it? You can see everyone around you. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's
you've not experienced it in a Zwift race, have you?
Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, the whole experience is new anyway. So being able to see the guys or not, it's probably not going to make too much of a factor. You know, I'm just happy to be there. No, I don't know. It's just I don't know. There's a lot of unanswered questions.
That is the quote of a loser. That is.
No, I'm not just happy to be there. I'm very happy to.
I'm happy to compete for the motherfucking win.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to take it to Bibby and Moldy. That's what you should be saying. Yeah. We need some beef in this podcast.
I'm just being very careful as to what I say because I always get a lot of backlash whenever I say anything.
Cam is very scared in this podcast. Like, usually he's the one who's like
between arrogance and confidence.
Fired up, and now he's like, oh, my weight, I can't. Like, no, I love Bibby and Moldy, are best friends. Like,
I am fired. Like, I am fired up, and I am excited. I am motivated, but I'd rather just keep myself pretty contained and try and let the legs do the talking on the day.
Yeah, boy. Oh. Yeah, look at that boom. Yeah, what?
So Chris and I have seen the stage. We've seen the studio you're going to race in on Thursday. And how would you describe it, Chris?
Amazing. Oh, it's well, if anybody's ever seen BT Sports, it looks like the same. How much can we say?
Well, you can say whatever you want. You just can't show the picture.
All right, it looks like it is the studio that they present pretty much every show from. So, like, if you look at the Claire Balding show, and they've got the big screen thing with the LEDs and all the shit and everything everywhere, and the stage and lights and shit everywhere, and it's amazing. It looks amazing.
Oh yeah, shit, like, yeah, shit, yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Hopefully, I
painted a really good picture.
Right now, somebody's on their run waiting for the best description ever from Chris Pritchard. This amazing event, and all they hear is, "Oh yeah, no, yeah."
Everywhere. There's a big thing with lights on it and a stage.
Are we going to be like on a stage?
Yes.
With an audience there watching, like in a theatre kind of situation.
Well, there won't be an audience. Well, there would be a slight audience, but it's limited to like 40 people on the day, so you won't have like a live audience.
Okay.
So,
which is a shame because you kind of want to feed off the people cheering for you, don't you? Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like. My opinion is it should be in a big arena and get as many people in and sell tickets and get as many people and get much hype in there as possible and as many people cheering. But yeah, that's my opinion. But apparently one of the issues with
sorry. Go back to that stadium thing. Would you rather it be in the stadium and like a velodrome, for instance, and the velodrome's full, so 1,500 people all watching you, and it never goes out live on TV, or would you rather have it in a TV studio and it goes out on live prime time TV?
That's a hard question. I'd probably the latter. Probably the latter, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I think now This
initially
is the one that goes on TV, but then 2 or 3 years down the line, it's in the stadiums. You've seen the people that turn up to events for Call of Duty and stuff like that. That is insane.
But this is the thing, though. Like, you're holding TV up like it's the best thing ever. In theory, since we're not going to see the viewer numbers, that could be the same amount of people watching on BT Sport 1 on Thursday as there is on a Tuesday evening when Cam Jeffers is doing a race. Like, we don't know. It's just that TV gets held up to this massive pinnacle. But what if nobody actually gives a fuck?
Well, there's a good chance, but thankfully, no one's ever really going to find that out. They're only going to get a rough idea of figures, aren't they?
Yeah.
So,
I guess.
Sorry, Cam. Carry on.
I can't even remember what I was saying.
Arenas.
Apparently in New York the heat was an issue, so it's going to be interesting to see how hot the arena is. The races are only going to be short races, so I'm not sure how much that might come into effect, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. Yeah,
the studio lights and things like that will certainly it'll put another aspect, another element onto the difficulty of it. And like you say, if you've not prepared and you haven't got an extra fan or you haven't got
I don't think you're allowed to bring an extra fan. Like, usually they've done these events with Zwift before, and I could see them being strict and saying everyone should be on the same setup. Well,
we know who it's sponsored by, right? We know who's sponsoring the event.
Yeah, it's been announced.
So we know what equipment should be there. And if that's there, then you've got no problem at all, have you?
I mean, yeah. Apparently, in the past, they use the little Honeywell fans, which, like, I use one. It's fine, but maybe the Wahoo kick or the Wahoo headwind is much more powerful. So yeah, if we've all got headwinds, then there's not going to be an issue.
I remember using one of those Honeywell fans, and I was starting to breathe because my heart rate went up, and I was breathing so heavy that it stopped the fan, and the fan spun around the other way. That's how shit.
I can visualize that. That's quite funny.
But just no wind at all anymore.
All these Zwift events in the past where they used to use these Honeywell fans, they almost have a negative effect. They're just like blowing hot air back onto you.
What I would suggest is getting a bucket of water with ice in it, and then drape your jersey in it. Zip your jersey up when you go to the start line. And
Søren Bay did that. So for the CVR World Cup in LA, they were in the velodrome, but the velodrome was so hot. So what Søren Bay did is he brought first of all, his wife was there, and he had 2 sets of jerseys. She bought a bucket, she bought ice, she put water in it, and so they would swap every 10 minutes between a cold, soaking jersey, put it back on, take the other jersey down, soak it, 10 minutes, give it, and they just swap back and forth like that.
So. Tell you what, it might be worth doing as well is doing it, getting gloves and socks, because people I've always heard I'm sure we did some testing that the quicker you can freeze your extremities, the rest of your body gets colder quicker as well.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be allowed to do any of this stuff. I don't think so.
Yeah, maybe especially with the TV cameras, I'd imagine it's going to be pretty strict.
Do you think you're going to be told to keep your jersey zipped up at all times?
Yeah, I was thinking this as well. I bet we're not going to be able to go topless.
Do it. Once you're live, there's nothing you can do about
some
it.
referee comes over and goes, disqualified. Off.
Yeah.
Out.
Excuse
me, sir. Could you put your shirt back on? Just a second.
But do we know?
All right then. I think we've pretty much covered it, haven't we?
Oh, what did Cam say?
Go on, Cam. You had something. Go on, Cam. You had something.
Is there
anyway, that's the end.
You too.
Sorry, Cam. Go on. Is there going to be any?
Any cycling news media outlets there as well as Zwift and BT?
Yeah, CyclingHub.
But
well, you'd expect.
That
I guess that's another good segue. I mean, Cycling Pulse are going to be there with their esports show, I'd imagine. Cycling News. I mean, we're going to be there. I mean, I can see. But there's only 40 spots. And so who gets those 40 spots is the big question. Like, this is, if you're on the inside, you now know whether or not you're one of the top 40 most valuable people to Zwift. You'll know that on Thursday.
Yeah, wow, that's one way to put it, Jesper.
But that's what it is, isn't it? You have, like, this is like a wedding invitation. You have 40 wedding invitations. Who comes to your wedding? Whoever you don't choose will hate you for the rest of life.
Wow. Wrecking relationships.
Well, I'm not married. Chris, you're the one who got a wedding.
Yeah, I know, but Jeez. There's going to be people out there now going, oh, shit, I didn't get an invite to that. Why did I get an invite to that?
Well,
those did.
Ash B sent me a message last night going, Jesper, can you hook me up with an invite to the Nationals? I'm like, I'm not even going. I got, like, you should ask Tim. So.
Wait, Cameron, you can't he go to your +1?
Yeah, if he wants to. No, I've already had to make note of who my +1 is for the special badges.
Thanks, mate.
What does he say? Cameron's +1.
Yeah.
I'm sure Monica would love that.
I'm even though I'm not racing, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great event.
Let's get a prediction in. Let's get who's going to win on Thursday, men and women.
Oh man, do we have to can Cam?
Well, Cam can share his thoughts. I mean, he can.
But yeah, but I want to say Cam. My heart says Cam, but my head says an actual professional that's been doing it for years.
Well, Gavin Dempster.
Yeah, exactly, Gavin Dempster is my tip top.
No, I reckon Cam's got a good shot, man. I mean, that sprint of
like
his.
I said, they've all got a shot. Every one of them. If it comes down to a sprint, Cam's got an aero, Bibby or Moldy don't, then it's a level playing field. Anyone can win it. It's going to be down to positioning and who's kicking first and who's willing to go balls deep to win a national jersey on Zwift. But you look at the form book and you've got to put Moldy and Bibby up there. Moses, he's beatable. Who was the other Madison rider?
Jim Pim or whatever, George Pim or whatever his name is.
Jim Pim. Yeah, Jim Pim.
Jim Pim.
Sorry.
Again, beatable. And then you've got the Zwift specialists, haven't you? Like Kim Little, Gavin Dempster, James Phillips, who excel in that. So, yeah, man, you're just as capable of winning than everybody else can.
This is the thing, though, Cam. Because
you're just saying that because I'm here, Chris. Shut up.
No, do you know what? Do you know what? As well, before we carry on, I was watching your video just now of your vlog, your racing vlog, and it's amazing how many people in your fans that watch you and me expect you to be at the front of a race, absolutely smashing it. And if you're not winning it, that's not really a good result.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, you're only a couple of years into your career of cycling, and you're putting a load of pressure on yourself.
This is only my first year racing elite as well,
So it's I can't remember what my point was, but my point is that you're still so young. You're still so young, and there's a lot of pressure on you from your channel and from yourself.
And he's being marked wherever he goes because he's Cameron Jeffers.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. So
that should be the tagline for the Grupetto. The Grupetto. I can't really remember what my point was. Episode 22. No, the thing I was going to say about the Nationals on Thursday is that it's a race like never before. Like, you say you can't rule out Moldy and Bivy, but they're strong. But I think Cam is clever. I think Cam has put in the hours. I think he's Zwift. He's smarter when it comes to Zwift than those two, because those two have a lot of false confidence because of the Super League. Because this is going to sound very wrong, but the Super League is easy if you're just slightly better than the rest, which they obviously are. I would love to see them race the Community League and see where they come, because I think they might end up like 6th, 7th, 8th instead of not win. So on Thursday, it's whoever did the homework, whoever worked on the necessary tools, whoever did the reconnaissance of LaGuardia, okay, that's what's going to matter on Thursday, like not the watts. It's a race like never before. It's going to be so negative. It comes down to who rides the smartest.
Yeah. There you go.
And on that bombshell,
do not put any pressure on yourself. Just enjoy it.
No.
You have got the whole of CyclingHub on your shoulders.
Vic, do you want to say good luck to Cam?
Good luck.
Couldn't even be asked to get off his chair and walk over to the camera.
Yeah.
Right there.
Look, there he is with his hood up. What a penis.
Well, let's do it. The next Grupetto episode is going to be after the Nationals, isn't it? So
we're going to record that Friday morning, I guess.
Yeah. Give a little bit of a rundown how.
Do it Friday morning. Why not?
Yeah. Or unless we make a video of it and then we talk about it afterwards on the group.
Up to you guys. I'm free.
Any other business?
I mean, I guess people should give their feedback on what they thought seeing our faces on this, if they watched it on the YouTube, if they got this far.
A long old podcast, yeah.
So.
If you did, leave a comment below with the secret word, which is Jesper. See what I did there? Look, I'm pointing at Jesper and looking at
Wahooch.
Wahooch. Leave a comment that says Wahooch.
Peace!
As ever, Cameron Jespers.
Cameron Jespers.
Jesper Jeffers.
The day this podcast gets sponsored, I bless whatever company chooses to throw money at us.
Yeah, we really want to get into a podcast. Which one shall we go for? Which one's a big cycle? Oh, the Grupetto's good. Yeah. All right, we'll have a listen. And then they see us three talking absolute dog shit.
I saw a comment on iTunes saying, my two favorite podcasts are the cycling podcast and the Grupetto. And if they both come up at the same time, the Grupetto gets the nudge. I'm like, who in their right mind does that?
Well, that's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, if you have made it this far, then we'd all appreciate a little thumbs up.
Well, Niels always gets this far, so thank you, Niels.
Yeah, cheers, Niels. Thank you for being the only one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Monica.
Thanks, Man, for being the other one.
Amanda, Tim.
I'd like Amanda listen to this. She gets sick of me looking at her and talking to her, let alone having to watch me on this shit.
Well, I imagine you've set up like some sort of like wireless Bluetooth speaker system in your house, and you just put on the Grupetto podcast and force your family to listen.
Absolutely not. I would not put them through this drill. I love them too much.
Or that's just too much do-it-yourself work. You couldn't be bothered.
Yeah, that sounds... All right, boys. Jesper, I will see you soon. Cameron, I will see you on Thursday at the Nationals.